Let's go.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Oh, we got a crowd, big fella. We got a crowd. What's up, Sport Beach? How y'all doing today? Round of applause for yourselves. We got phones out. They're really excited about this one. Are we doing sunglasses or no sunglasses? Big fella said no.
No sunglasses. He said.
No
No,
sun-
sunglasses.
I wanna apologize for being late. I was trying on my thong in the back, but it didn't fit. So
And that's how we're starting off the panel today. We'll keep it with you, Shaq. As we think about the modern day athlete and brand partnership, a lot of the work that we're seeing today is a function off of you being a pioneer. Your entire career, you set the bar for brand partnerships, deal flow, all the things. So I'm curious as to how you've thought about that the entirety of your career.
you use the word deal flow. I never look at it as deal flow. I look at it as partnerships. For example, when I did the deal with Lilly, it was about a personal health journey. Our first campaign was a awareness campaign, and they taught me some things about myself. They basically taught me that you're not Superman. Go see a doctor, see what's going on. I can remember watching the first Superman movie, and that was the first movie my father took me to. And it was a scene where he ran by the train. So I lived by a train station. I was like, let me run by the train. And I beat the train. Not really, but I beat the train. I was like, shit, I'm Superman. So my whole life I'm Superman, never consulted with a doctor, never did anything. But when I met with Lina and, we just started talking, I met with him about a matter that was, personal for me. And Lina was like, you have to consult with doctors. And ever since I've consulted with doctors, I'm feeling better, looking better, living better. So, for me, when I do a partnership, it's all about relationships. One of my favorite partnerships was Icy Hot. I remember one time I had a thigh injury and they rubbed Icy Hot on my thighs and it rose up to the boys. You can laugh. For all the fellas with boys, you know what boys mean.
Oh, man.
It rose up to the boys.
Shaq.
So I was like, this stuff really works. It really gets hot. So, I never, my agent is in the back. He's never allowed to tell me what I'm making on the deal because to me it's not about the money all the time. It was just about, partnerships. And, Lilly is a fabulous company, a historical company, and to be in partnership with them, to be in partnership with Lina, it's great. So thank you, Lina, and thank you, Lilly.
Thank you.
So to sit beside one of the greatest to ever do it and to hear him not talk about your brand as a brand, but to use the term relationship and partnership, that's really dope. And that speaks to what you guys have built together. It's not a sponsorship. It's not advertising. It's a true relationship.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that, please?
Yes, it really is, especially with the relationship with Shaquille and his brand. I think there's a couple of things that I play. First and foremost is every time we partner with someone, we want to look at, will we improve health together? And so, you can always slap a logo on something. You can always have a partnership deal that's done through just the partnership. But I think when people like Shaquille and, someone that has the type of incredible background that he has, both as an athlete and as an entrepreneur, but especially the heights that he has reached in his career as an athlete, when it's not just about the relationship but the partnership, but when somebody like him opens up to talk about his health journey, that creates, resonance with people. And so you can have a partnership that is, with anyone, and you can, that to me is like, get a lot of reach, and it's like a logo with a big budget, basically, versus I think a relationship like this and a partnership like the one with Shaquille, where he's opening up about health journeys, and he's explaining to people what he meant to realize he wasn't Superman all the time, makes the decisions around health more personal and more relevant to people. And then from just making the partnership work, I think equally for me and for us as Lilly, I never look as an athlete or as a partner as a billboard. I always look at it as, this is the best way to talk to people and to exemplify what a health journey looks like.
That's incredible. Shaq, you've probably turned down more deals than people have been offered, more partnership opportunities that people have been offered. So for you to stand alongside a brand is a significant cosign. What was it about Lilly that really resonated with you?
It was first about speaking with Lina, You know, we talked about health, wellness, and recovery, and you know, I respected her for her position, female, high up, the way she talked, and she just hit me to some things that I wasn't even thinking about. If it wasn't for her, I probably still wouldn't have went to a doctor. But again, we talked about things that were very personal to me. I opened up, and you know, she went on this health, wellness, recovery thing, and you know, we talked about partnerships, and you know, first one, like I said earlier, was an awareness campaign, and I look forward to a long-lasting relationship with Lily because it's all about helping people. You know, I know a lot of people look up to me, so again, I try to do things that are right, and I know there's a lot of men out here that think like I think, and you know, sometimes it's not the right way. So, you know, when it comes to health and recovery and doing the right thing, Lily is the only partner that I want to team up with.
That's I feel like that's a message that people need to hear more often. It's okay to take care of yourself. Self-care is really important. Shaq, has your perspective or your mentality about self-care changed at all post-career?
Yes, it has, because you know, I was going through a lot, things I didn't know where were going on, and after speaking with Lina and speaking with my, you know, health professionals, it's like boom, 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 bam, and now they're fixed. I would take this shirt off and let you see my six-pack, but it's not a 6 yet, it's a 4.9.
So I'm
But
here.
next year, you get naked on the we'll take it off.
Y'all cheering. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Y'all freaky. So, Lina, the way he's talking, I mean, you're an SVP, you're a CMO, you run the brand.
She's the boss. Get it right.
You're a boss, the biggest boss. Shaq is also talking about you as if you're a friend, too. I feel like all of us need a Lina in our lives. So I'm curious as to how you've managed to lean in so intentionally with this type of partnership. It's one thing to talk about the key KPIs of the brand, but it's also another thing to look Shaq in the eyes and say, how can I help you?
Yeah.
What are you looking to accomplish?
Yeah, the first thing I would like to say that I tell to Shaquille all the time, I am not a doctor. I can play one on TV, maybe, but I'm not a doctor. But no, you know, I think I put a lot of personal equities in this type of partnerships, not because it's a secret ingredient, but it's truly not just how I am as a person, but it's really how this brand also is. This brand is about authenticity. The stories that we tell with Lilly as a medicine company are a reflection of what happens inside the company. One of my biggest frustration was, you know, I've been at Lilly for 22 years, and I've never planned to stay 22 years at Lilly, but I stayed because the work keeps getting better and the people are incredible, and to see scientists dedicated to like really solve people's problems and not seeing that represented externally, that was a frustration to me. So the way this partnership is going is not only a reflection on the company, but then, you know, I'm the type of person that at a very personal level, I cannot do something unless I believe in it, and I will not be able to partner with people unless I believe in them as well. So it is an important part of the partnership to also be very honest. Just like Shaquille, when he talks about his health journey, he's doing it in an honest way. So we don't give him, you know, talking points, or it's just about explaining within the guardrails of, you know, what we do, how his journey has been. And for me, is very, very important, because at the end of the day, even if, you know, any partner were to walk away from a partnership with Lily or with me, I want that experience to be outstanding. And it's important to me, just like it's important to, you know, bring people into your family. You want to represent your family correctly. So I think that makes a difference also in how the partnership then presents externally and what people perceive. Because for two reasons. One, when you build a brand that's strong and you understand your brand truth, you can hand the brand over to somebody else because it's so well defined. I think one of the things that was so special about this partnership is when I first, actually before we signed the deal, when I first came to an immersion day that they did for Shaquille's brands, you explained how you had understood that your brand at some point was about bringing fun to people's life. And if you think about it, a medicine company and fun, that's not something you would think go together. And instead, I think that's been the strength of this, because his brand is so defined. He understands who, you know, what he wants to portray as a brand, and so do we. And when you have two very defined brands, we can let each other be ourselves. And so if you see a lot of the stuff that we have done together, it is still, you know, Shaq, and it's still fun, but it's also a very personable, relatable health journey.
Shaq, I'd love to hear you talk about that. While you're delivering incredible points, you're pointing at people, you're waving at people, you're smiling at people. Fun is a part of who you are. You want to make people smile. You want to make people feel good. And as a brand in Lilly, you've been able to bring that personality to the brand, and it's done incredible things in partnership. Can you speak to how you bring your brand to the fold in partnership?
I've always considered myself the ambassador of fun.
That's an official title, right?
I never take myself too seriously.
Yeah.
Did a press conference about 10 years ago where I denounced myself from being a celebrity, because celebrities are assholes. And I never want to be like those people. I don't have an entourage. It's me and my boys, me and the guys that work for me. I like to live life. I don't treat myself as if I'm bigger than you, even though I am bigger and taller than you. And I'm a regular person. I realize that I've been blessed and I've got to meet a lot of people and, you know, do a lot of great things, but, you know, this is who I am and this is who we are. And, you know, I can remember when I first came in and was meeting with marketing firms and they were trying to create images for me. And I look at the marketing president and said, image is reality. And he's like, what does that mean? I was like, you'll see. You know, a lot of people create these images and some live up to them, and the ones that don't live up to them, you know, they're finally recognized for not keeping it real. You know, I'm silly. I have ADHD. I don't pay attention. I'm sweating my balls off in these tight-ass jeans.
It's hot. It's hot.
It's hot. That's just me.
Lina,
Anybody else got some tight-ass jeans on? Look, it's me. I didn't get the memo.
Lina, we're sitting on Sport Beach, the epicenter of sport at Cannes Lions, and I think it's really, really important for you to speak to why sport for your brand. What is it about the category of sport that allows you to reach consumers the way you do?
We started our journey in sports with the Tokyo Olympics, so we are Olympic sponsors through Los Angeles 28. But it's a very good question because sports, for me, provides a platform that's unique, especially to health. Because from one, athletes show you what's possible in the presence of health. And then in our case, we work a lot with para-athletes too that show you what's possible when you don't accept the odds that you were dealt, especially from a health perspective. So it's an aspirational place. But also, you know, I have this big belief that beliefs and culture is shaped with sports and film and just how people enjoy life. And when you have a message as important as people's health, I think you want to reach them not just with, again, just reach over their head, but in moments in which their hearts and minds are open. And when you're watching your team, when you're watching your favorite athletes, even when your team lose, it's a different state, and your minds and hearts are open. And so the ambition with sports is not just to reach people and send a message. The ambition is to change the conversation around health. When, you know, one of the beliefs that we hold as a brand is that health is above everything else and that life is very precarious, and we understand that. Everyone that works on the Lilly brand and at Lilly, and especially the scientists, kind of see this as their opportunity to impact humanity is through health and through the work that we do with health. So we don't want the conversation about health to start when things go wrong and when people are sick. And, you know, I never understood why it couldn't be a topic that people talk about in the moments where they're with their families and where they're having fun. And so sports provide a big platform, not just in terms of reach, but in terms of meaning. And it's, you know, it has provided that through many things that we have done in sports, but then, again, it amplifies things that we already do. For example, in the partnerships with Shaquille, when we went back to the Milano Olympics this year, we also launched the Athlete Recovery Program. And as a way to launch it, we thought, what better ambassador, somebody like Shaquille, who has been an athlete himself, you know, has gone through injury and recovery, but also understands the brand, believes in the purpose of the brand, and is on his own health journey. And that has created an incredible resonance, not just with athletes at large, but also people signing up for the Athlete Recovery Fund when they get injured, because again, you see somebody of his stature, metaphorically, and you know, you get inspired that it's okay to get hurt, and that health is a constant journey, it's not one and done.
Shaq, you've referred to Lina as the biggest boss. I'm curious, you're obviously a leader, you're a business leader. Have there been some things that you've learned from Lina as a boss, as well as you've thought about your broader portfolio and your broader business?
I learned that I would never be on the same level as Lina. She's a true definition of a boss.
Wow.
That
See,
is-
I survive because I surround myself with people that are way smarter than me. Lina has all the qualities. She's serious, she's focused, she doesn't mess around. I can never be that. I can never do her job. I respect our friendship. I love her honesties. One thing about her, when you mess up, she will call you right away. Nothing to talk about. And she will let you have it, let you know what you did, and what you can't do. And because when you're on a team and you're the leader of the team, you represent the team, and you have to do what's best for the team, and not for yourself. So I wish I was as smart, as courageous, as diligent as this woman that I'm sitting next to. But I'm glad that we have a friendship. I'm glad that we have a partnership. And one thing about me is, as successful as I am, I still love to learn. You know what I learned today? That this is a scam. Listen, no matter how hard you go like that, it's not getting cool. We've been
How you
scammed.
set us up like that?
Damn
man?
it. So y'all can stop waving. It doesn't work.
It's not working.
I just tried it. Doesn't work.
Can
It's
we get-
hotter, actually.
We need to get Shaq an electric fan. So can we get somebody to get him a little head fan?
No, I'm good.
Oh wow,
Here.
Shaq. Well, you got options, Shaq. What we doing?
Thank you. I'm good.
He's good. Lina, that's high praise, and it's really dope. We're sitting in a room of marketers, of brand leaders, of brand builders, and I think oftentimes brands struggle with finding authentic partnerships, finding people who they're yoked with, but finding people who are as inspired and as incentivized to help the brand partnerships do well. And you've got this gentleman sitting beside you, not only talking about the brand of Lilly, but talking about you as such a great partner. How's that resonate? How's that land with you?
I mean, it's first of all, I want to say he's very kind, and I appreciate that. But I also want to say, I never had this conversation with him, but I have shared with my team actually. When I first started working with Shaquille, and the first time we actually, got together to work, my team was like, "How is he?" and how, what was it? And the first thing I shared is actually how much I've learned that day from a leadership perspective. So it's interesting that that is his point. But and what I mean by that is, he mentioned he doesn't have an entourage. He has, a group of people. And I was watching him. I've been observing him throughout that day to see how, he comes across as, relaxed sometimes, as fun, but he is managing and directing the whole entire operation, and there's no question in anybody's mind who the leader is. And so I was sharing this with my team actually the first day, because as a woman in an executive role, sometimes you have to straddle this idea that you constantly have to be, you're expected to be nice and nurturing because you're a woman, and warm, and at the same time you have a huge responsibility and a huge operation. So I do learn a lot watching him in action. He's somebody that leads, is like a real against the moves in silence. That's how he leads.
Why? Why? Thank you.
No, but it's true. So, to hear him say that, it's, I just really think partnerships like this are unique, but they are intentional. So it's not that we stumbled across this and it became a great thing. I think as to your question about how do brands know, the biggest thing you can find out for your brand, I always say, is first and foremost your brand truth. But then I think the mistake that a lot of marketers and brand builders make is they look at their brand truth and they say, this is what I will do. Versus the biggest thing your brand truth will teach you is what not to do, is what to say no to. And so for us, it's health above all. The health is what we do. And everything that doesn't align to that is not going to work. And I will say no to anything that doesn't come under that umbrella. So if the same partnership came across and it was to just promote an event or just promote a partnership for basketball, it wouldn't have worked the same way. We do share a common purpose, and he understands his own brand truth, and he will say no to everything that doesn't align to that, and we found a good place in between. And I think at the core of this is also, I have a lot of respect for Shaquille. I love being around him. I learn a lot every time I'm around him. And so there's just, I think, like a very good synergy that, to me, the best part has been also seeing our teams, that being infused throughout our teams and our teams working so well together.
You also, did you just quote Lil Wayne in that? Did you see Real G's Move in Silence? No. You just did. We were talking about
You know
right
too
backstage.
much. You know too much.
So what does the future of the partnership look like for the both of you? Obviously, it started as a single campaign, and now it's developed into a much more intricate and involved partnership. What does it look like for both of you?
I look at this a little bit different than I think a lot of CMOs look at annual cycles and which campaign are we going to do, and of course we do that too. But with this partnership specifically, it's always going to come from what is the biggest impact that we can have on people. And so, obviously we have a lot on the horizon as a brand. We have the Olympics coming 2028. There's a lot that we want to do in Los Angeles. We have an ambition to leave LA better than what we found it from a health perspective. There's a lot that we want to do in social impact, and Shaquille's foundation is also very involved in social impact. So we can't really disclose much of what's coming, but I would say when a partnership is founded in core shared belief, then it evolves naturally, and I think that's what I aim to do with this.
And Shaq, can you speak about DUNKMAN and the partnership that Lina is now and Lilly are now invested in with all things DUNKMAN?
Yes, Lilly is a title sponsor for DUNKMAN. For the past 10, 15 years, the dunk contest has been trash.
Y'all agree?
It really has. I don't know why the top players have not participated in the dunk contest. But fortunately, we have professional dunkers around the world that do amazing dunks, and they get a lot of likes and a lot of clicks. So I wanted to put a league together to where, a lot of guys from a lot of different countries just go out and compete. And when Lina heard about that, she's like, hey, we want to be the title sponsor. So, we're just everything she said, plus we just want to, continue to, make people happy, make people laugh, and, continue to entertain them. But I think DUNKMAN is going to be very, very exciting because it's kind of weird that guys that are not professional athletes are doing dunks that professional athletes can't do. And that's what makes it very interesting. So I look forward to, I think we start shooting in a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, but looking forward to it.
And Lina, so across your work with the Indiana Fever, Indiana Pacers, Team USA, and DUNKMAN now, you all have extended the brand across multiple categories in sport. You talked about the importance of sport. Love to hear about how those partnerships are unfolding.
The sports partnership?
That's right.
Across the board? Well, again, it's just a matter of figuring out how can we correctly direct the conversations around health in moments that matter. The reason why DUNKMAN was so interesting to me also is, once, Shaquille is going to be the commissioner, so I knew there was going to be direction to the league. I think it's an interesting idea to build the league around this, but the most interesting part for me was it's really based on skills. And so it really aligns with the way the Lilly brand operates too, which is, we want people to be healthy so they can achieve their highest potential and they can, find the best versions of themselves. And so it really aligned well with that. And so just another example of how it's never going to be just a logo placement for us, and this was like a great partnership from a strategic perspective. And then in sports, we're finding so much success in, again, not just placing advertisement or placing, logos, but in creating experiences for people, and that's a new area for medicine and a new area for medicine company. I think it's going to be so important going forward also because the different disease areas that we are going to treat in the future, I continue to see a lot of opportunity, and we'll continue to invest in sports.
You all have clearly built a winning partnership. Shaq, we can't have you on stage without having you talk a little bit about what just happened in the NBA Finals. The New York Knicks won. We got Knicks fans.
Shut it up.
Shaq, talk about it. What was your take on the finals? You obviously saw the energy of the city. What was your take?
I'm actually happy for New York. I met with Jalen Brunson. We do something called the Upfronts. You familiar with the Upfronts? So Kenny and I gave him like a personal interview, and really great kid. But I could tell by his answers, his demeanor, his determination that he really wanted it. So I kind of knew when they got there. I was worried the first game because I thought, you know, the Spurs backcourt, they had a lot of bodies that could throw them. But after that first game, I was like, the Spurs may be in trouble. He had this look in his eye like, hey, I'm going to make sure the city wins this championship. I'm going to make sure my teammates follow. And it was a total team effort. You know, he didn't play great, but he played good enough. Cat played good. Anunoby played good. Josh Hart played phenomenal. And that's what it takes to win a championship, a great team. And I'm happy for the city. 53 years, they finally got it done. But I just saw Jason Tatum in the back, and I asked him, was he pissed off? He said, yeah. So I look for Boston to make some noise. Giannis just got traded to Miami. Miami's going to make some noise. Philly's still in there. So, you know, like as a champion, you still have to push yourself. So it's okay to have one championship, but can you get another one? So we'll see if New York comes in with that determination to try to go back to back. But it's definitely going to be tough. Can I shout out somebody famous?
Absolutely.
Can you stand up, please, in the black lady here? Yes. Everyone say hello to Sharon Stone.
Jesus.
Famous actress.
Oh, my God. Oh, my. Shaq,
Just playing.
You'll get us kicked off.
But you are beautiful, though. I thought it was Sharon Stone.
Jesus.
I was like, damn, Sharon at the panel, cuz.
Thank you for, we set that up prior to, you know, what?
That's why we don't rehearse anything.
Lina, on that note, I would like to hear you talk about the future of the partnership. We talked about it a bit more, but this is a long-standing relationship. You all are obviously going to accomplish incredible things together, and you're going to continue to be the gold standard in what partnership looks like. If there were no constraints, what does the future of partnership with Shaq look like?
There are constraints because we are in France, and we cannot. No, I can talk to a lot of things around product, but no. If there were, first of all, I was saying this is an honest answer. Two things. One, the constraints we have, those are important because I always say, if my mom were to be prescribed a medicine, I would want to know everything, the good and the bad, and so does everyone. But you don't think about it until you need a medicine. And so I don't look at the constraints as a negative things. They're not constraints. They are important things to communicate. The benefit of working together with Shaquille is that he knows how to communicate things to people that are important and in a way that land, and in a way that land in a human way that that a medicine brand perhaps couldn't do. And so I would say there aren't constraints in that sense. The thing about this partnership is that I think we will continue to iterate, and because it's rooted into Shaquille's experience and then what this brand does, the Lilly as a company and Lilly as a brand, there are so many new areas that I can speak about in France, but they will be coming, in the future. We're really, really focused on not just helping in medicine, but like solving people's problems. When somebody's ill, when you have an illness, when you have sickness, you don't want to get better a little bit. You just want it gone. And so we're focusing on advancing science so that we can give solutions where solutions are not present today. And if I look into the future, I hope that we can continue to find ways to partner with Shaquille, because it's just every partnership brings something important. I would say even before I met Shaquille, my team can testify to this. I used to see him at games when he was, broadcasting, and just people have an admiration for him that's so palpable when he walks everywhere that I think, whatever we continue to do together, I'm excited because he will have an impact on people, and I hope that when we look back 5-10 years from now, we can both say that was one of the proudest moments of what we have done. Yeah.
Shaq, before we step off the stage, were there any other celebrities that you saw in the audience that we need to shout out?
Tell me Future is here. Tell me.
Shout out to
Not
Sharon.
yet.
We all good? Just Sharon?
Actually, stand up. No, the guy behind you. Guy in the white. Yep. Everyone say hello to Black Thought from the Roots.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, round of applause for our esteemed panelists.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All I do is